Hello there, gamerinos and gamerinas. Welcome to UnicornStorm. This is Rady, and today I'm going to take a look at Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for the PS5.
Go, go. Your ship is up ahead. Where are you going?
This is the newest game in a long-running series that started back in 2022 as one of a few PlayStation 2 mascot platformers with a heavy emphasis on action. The series contained 14 games, both on console and handheld, and even on mobile, before it was rebooted a few years back and even got a shiny tie-in movie. That was pretty forgettable. At least I forgot about it. Well, and Rift Apart for the PS5 is its direct sequel. I'm not really familiar with the Ratchet and Clank franchise. I mean, I heard about it, I know what the games are about, and I even played them a little bit in the past. I really enjoyed Quest for Booty, but I never really got into this series. So I can't and won't tell you how good this game is in comparison to the rest of the Ratchet and Clank franchise, but I am going to tell you, or at least try to explain, whether or not Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is worth your while. So this game is an action-adventure with third-person shooter elements. You have to explore massive levels and have to fight hordes of enemies. You have to solve puzzles and succeed in a number of different minigames. And damn, this game is beautiful. I really like the art design. The game has this cartoonish look but doesn't shy away from being grim and gritty. The opening is bright and colorful. Characters have over-exaggerated and round features, but the next level is dark and dirty, illuminated only by neon light. Since this is a space and dimension traveling adventure, the game can just throw all kinds of level, environment and character designs at the player. And it works really well. You will come across a bunch of different alien species. Every world has its own type of aggressive and peaceful wildlife, as well as NPC characters. In addition to all the recurring enemies, like battle drones or space pirates, or Nefariouses, the main antagonists, reptile goons. All of them in a bunch of different variations. Some of them more and some of them less distinctive. The level design also takes full advantage of the intergalactic travel setting. Every world looks vastly different from the next. There is a cyberpunk cityscape level with hidden alleyways where you need to jump from rooftop to rooftop. A vast canyon housing a monastery where you race across the rocky ground with hover boots and can perform insane stunts. A huge acidic swamp where you have to be careful not to touch the water, and where you can ride a dragon to soar through the sky, or the debris of a destroyed planet that you have to traverse in zero gravity, and where you can activate dimension crystal thingies to swap the environment to a version where the planet was still intact in its volcanic mining facility state. Kinda like in Skyward Sword, so maybe it isn't a coincidence that this game released so close to the Skyward Sword HD remaster. But yeah, every level has its own distinctive gameplay elements, as well as its own collectibles. Oh man, there is so much to collect in this game. Aside from scrap and crystals that you need to buy and upgrade weapons, you can find golden bolts and spy drones to unlock all kinds of extras and cosmetics. You can find and complete pocket dimensions to get new pieces of armor. You can collect teddy bears for whatever reason. And then there are the level-specific collectibles. In one level you have to collect flowers, in another you have to collect hidden relics of a past civilization. Sometimes you have to be vigilant and spot the collectibles hidden in the environment. Sometimes you have to succeed in a special challenge. But as long as you don't miss any things or are going for 100% in every stage before moving on, it never really becomes a chore. While the areas are open and sprawling, the game leads you naturally through, but always allows you to explore before moving on. And in every area of a level is either a set piece, a combat encounter, a puzzle, or a platforming challenge. So you constantly switch between high octane engagement and more relaxed and slow exploration. And there's always a reward nearby. When you're not collecting new equipment or the means to upgrade said equipment, you gain experience from fighting, both for your equipped weapon and for your character. Raising your character level grants you more hit points, but leveling up your weapons comes with a number of bonuses. Your weapon will immediately change to either a more stronger version or it gets a special effect like a triple shot. You also unlock more options to upgrade the weapon through the weapon shop. There you can place your Ratanium crystals in these upgrade nodes that all provide a small bonus to maximum ammunition, strength, range or speed. And unlocking the right combination of nodes even unlocks special abilities. And it's a neat detail that the upgrade tree for every weapon is in the shape of the weapon itself. And there's a bunch of different weapons, all of them with their own unique quirks. Your pistol fires quick and precise, the shotgun is devastating but only in short range at first. The ricochet gun fires a projectile that bounces off an enemy and crashes into them multiple times. The fungus is a kind of turret that attacks the enemy and draws their fire. There's a gun that stuns enemies with electro bolts. There's a gun that entraps enemies inside plants and moss. There's a gun that fires a deadly laser beam but needs to charge up first. And then there's your trusty wrench. That does way too much damage, but at least you can only use it up close to an enemy. Oh, also, every weapon uses the haptic feedback on the PS5 controller. Depending on how far you push any of the triggers, the guns will behave differently. Sometimes they allow you to aim, sometimes they shoot in a different way. But not just during the shooting, but throughout the whole game, the DualSense controller really shines with this game. The controller will slowly pulsate when you're low on health, it shakes when something huge is moving around you, the vibration matches your steps on certain surfaces, or it vibrates for every piece of scrap you pick up, and it just feels great when you pick up a whole lot of it. It also plays the sound of a projectile hitting the ground near you, and probably a lot more that I didn't consciously notice while playing the game. Playing with the DualSense controller really is an awesome experience that every game enthusiast should try out at least once. And I'd say Sony up until now has used this feature more than Nintendo did since the Switch has been released. But yeah, let's focus on Ratchet and Clank. With all that variety, the gameplay never becomes too complicated. The game is, at its heart, the same simple action-adventure it was back in the day. The melee system only provides you with a simple 3-hit combo and a jump attack. And the ranged combat has a strong auto-aim with accompanying lock-on system. You can jump or dodge out of harm's way without any kind of penalty. There's no hit multiplier or stamina system. You don't have a huge amount of hit points, but healing crates are pretty much everywhere. And so are ammo crates. But during battles, you have to manage your resources at least a little bit and swap weapons constantly so to not run out of ammo at the worst possible moment. Encounters are more on the easy side, and even if you die, you will get transported to a checkpoint not too far away. Most of the time not even losing any progress. There are some challenges that require a bit more skill and knowledge of the game, but story essential challenges can at worst just drag a bit when you don't fight an enemy in the most optimal way. And then there are the titular rifts that seem more complicated at first than they really are. Most of the time they are just background decoration or a way for the game to drop in more enemies. Sometimes you find hidden rifts that you can activate to travel to a pocket dimension that is pretty much always an obstacle course, and sometimes they are baked into a scripted set piece. And then there are some rifts just floating around in a level, more often than not in a combat area. And you can activate these rifts from afar to pull them towards you, which acts as a kind of teleport that can be disorienting at first, but you'll quickly get the hang of it. Using them optimally takes a bit of practice, but even for newcomers, they're pretty handy to quickly get close to enemies or away from them. So yeah, I really enjoy my time with this. It's fun to explore all the levels, find all the hidden knickknacks, collect enough scrap to buy the next cool weapon, progress through the story to see what crazy stuff the next level will introduce. The story itself is fine, at least for my liking. It's more directed towards children, which is alright, and I can enjoy a bit of silly, family-friendly humor in an overall pretty wholesome story. But I also know that I'm not the target audience. The two main characters, Ratchet and Rivet, are well characterized and their helpful, optimistic personality really fits them. The jokes didn't always land for me, but there also wasn't anything too cringe-worthy. And the core gameplay with its level-to-level variety is strong enough to carry the game. So yeah, I can really recommend this game for everyone who owns a PS5, so I guess about 100 people worldwide. But if you happen to get your hands on a PS5, and if you do enjoy some action, adventure, platformers, shooty thingies, then maybe you want to give this game a look. It's really fun. And with that, I bid you adieu. Have a great day, and I hope to see you again on the next game.
All I gotta do now, whoa, this is fast, is head to the statue, use glitch, get a starship, and then find Clank on Sargasso. I'm on my way, buddy. Just hang in there for a little bit longer.